The box model is an essential concept in CSS. All HTML elements can be considered as boxes, and using CSS we can customize the different properties of those boxes. Let's start learning. Each box consists of 4 different parts. First, the content, which is the actual content of the HTML element, for example, a text. Padding, border and margin are the properties of the box. The padding defines the space between the border and the content of the box. And the margin defines the space between this box and other boxes. Okay, let's have a look at some code. I have prepared a simple HTML file with 3 containers, and each container just have a simple text in it. Let's write some CSS code to define the boxes. We want to add the stylings to each of the div containers, so we use the div selector. First, let's define the margin. Let's just set it to 40 pixels. And as you can see, there is now some spacing between each of the containers. Next, we are going to set a border around the boxes. Let's create a solid border which is 2 pixels wide and red. And as you can see, each of the containers has a border around the box. Now it's time to add some padding, which is the size between the content of the containers and the border. And have a look at the browser. Between the border of each container and its text, there is some spacing. What if we only want to have some spacing to the left or to the top of a box? No problem, we can also achieve that easily by using CSS. Let's try it out for container 1. If we define a padding using 2 values, the first value defines top and bottom paddings, and the second value defines left and right. If we use 3 values, the first one defines the top padding, the second the left and right padding, and the third one the bottom padding. And if we use 4 values, the first one is for the top padding, the second one for the right, the third one for the bottom, and the fourth one for the left padding. And margin works just the same way. And we can also define bottom, top, left and right paddings and margins specifically by using the margin bottom CSS rule, for example. Let's give container 1 a margin bottom and container 3 a margin top. And as you can see, each container is spaced evenly. And finally, let's give the second container a margin left to make it appear indented. And of course we can do the same things with padding. Let's give container 1 a padding bottom and padding top rule, and have a look at the browser. It will have a padding bottom and padding top. The last interesting thing about the CSS box model is the so-called box sizing. By using the box sizing, we can define how the width of a box is calculated. The default value for box sizing is content box. A content box doesn't include the border and the padding in the width of the box. A border box, on the other hand, includes the border and the padding in the width of the box. Have a look at the browser, and as you can see, container 2, which is set to border box, appears small because the padding and the border are included in the width of 100 pixels. Okay, so we have reached the end of this video. I hope you liked it and learned a lot. To support my work, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel to not miss any content about learning to code. So have a great day and happy learning!